Right, we're looking at the hormone questions. Right, what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers, right, excreted by endocrine glands into the blood and uh, they go all over the place and target specific cells or organs or cells in organs, not everything. So if they've got the receptors, then it'll produce an effect. Right, that's what a hormone is. It's good to know that definition. Hormones, right. One of the characteristics of living organisms is the ability to respond to a change in their surroundings. In mammals, that control is either via nerves or hormones, nervous or hormonal communication. ADH is an example of a hormone. ADH. Antidiuretic hormone. Anti means against. Uresis is the flow of urine, so it's anti-urine. So if you have ADH in your bloodstream, you're going to produce less urine. Right, where is it produced? It's produced in the pituitary gland. So that's your head. Right, the pituitary gland is there in the base of the brain. Next to the hypothalamus. You've got your thyroid gland here. You've got your two kidneys. You've got your two adrenal glands next to them. You've got your pancreas. You've got your ovaries and you've got your testes. So all these hormones you need to know. So let's have a look. Pituitary gland. This is your thyroid. These are your, let me get this right, adrenal glands. That is your pancreas. For females, you have your ovaries, and for males, you have your testes. So you've got to know all these. So the pituitary gland is responsible for ADH. So what does it do? So the ADH, antidiuretic hormone, describe the effects. It goes to the kidney and makes the collecting duct Right, okay, forget that. Let's just put down the collecting duct. Where is it? It's in the nephron. You won't need to know that if you're doing double. Makes the collecting duct more permeable. Permeable means it allows things through. So what happens? So the blood absorbs more water. So the blood concentration goes down, or is more dilute. And at the same time, the urine concentration and the urine concentration goes up. Would have been better if I had written and the concentration of the concentration and the urine becomes more concentrated. But that's fair enough. Okay, they've also added this, which is interesting. More permeable. So water is absorbed by what method? Osmosis. Yeah, so it's important to state that what's the purpose of something becoming more permeable? So water is absorbed by osmosis. Right, let's keep moving on. Right, 2 ways in which nerves differ from hormones. Okay. Nerves um, generate electrical impulses. Right, whilst hormones are chemicals, nerves communicate fast. Nerves are short-lived. You could say the opposite for hormones as well. Nerves target specific areas or cells or organs. Okay, yep, just check the mark scheme, that's fine. Right, so remember humans have hormones and plants have auxins. That's the difference. Some say auxins are not real hormones because they don't travel in blood. So there's a big debate about that. Right, so plants are able to respond to their surroundings. The diagram shows young cereal shoots, coleoptiles, which are placed in different light conditions. Complete the diagram to suggest how each of the shoots would appear after 2 days. So if you've got light coming from every direction, all that would happen is that would get taller. If you've got unidirectional light, just say from one side, you would get growth towards the light. And in the dark, it'll just grow thinner and taller and quicker, trying to find, and it thinks it's in the ground, it's trying to get out, so it'll just, but the danger is it'll be thin and weak. Right. Plant roots respond to an external stimulus or stimuli. Describe the response to roots of gravity and explain how this response benefits the plant. So there's the soil, there's the roots. Roots tend to grow down. So roots are positively geo means earth, or in this case relates to gravity, geotropic. Roots are positively geotropic and grow down. What are the advantages of that? They can help obtain water for the plant, minerals, and they can also help make the plant more stable or stabilize the plant. So it doesn't get uprooted. Okay, that's fair enough. Describe the stages that are used to genetically modify a bacterium that is able to manufacture human growth hormone. Right. This is what happens. You get a plasmid. Right. Remember, that's bacteria. Bacteria does not have a nucleus. It's got its genetic material is in the form of a plasmid, which is just a round circle, or a nucleoid, which is another circle. Right. Whilst humans and plants and eukaryotes have a full-on nucleus. Right. So there's your plasmid. You've obtained it from a bacterium. Let's see. So what you do is you cut it up, and then so this is the DNA strand, a gene. We're going to pull out a gene from there. We're going to cut out that gene from there, and we're going to put it into the plasmid. Now we'll take the plasmid, incubate it with loads of bacteria. One of them will take it in, and then you can breed those, and then once they've matured, you can then harvest them to remove the human insulin. That is in effect the version that you need to learn, but we need to put that for 5 marks. So first of all, we take the donor gene. Take donor gene from human and cut out the growth gene. And how do you cut it out? Using a restriction enzyme. So they use an enzyme. It's like a pair of scissors. A pair of scissors. Enzyme. Right. Then cut out a section from a plasmid using the same restriction enzyme. What do you do next? You then get a glue called DNA ligase enzyme. Another enzyme. Get a DNA ligase to glue the donor let's get rid of that. Donor gene to glue the donor gene into the plasmid. Right. The and use this word, recombinant plasmid. What that is that's the recombined plasmid is the vector. Vector is the thing that carries the gene or the material or whatever it is that you're interested in. The recombinant plasmid is the vector and is incubated in bacteria, and a bacteria will take up the recombinant plasmid. Now then you grow the bacteria and harvest the hormone. Right, okay, what is a hormone? So okay, you know, whoa, I'm just gonna stop there for a second. Right, so there's a few steps. You take the You take the donor gene from the human and cut out the growth gene using a restriction enzyme. So these are the keywords, yeah? Donor gene. Then you cut out a section from the plasmid using the same restriction enzyme. Then you get DNA ligase as a glue to glue the two together. It forms a recombinant plasmid. That's that one there, the complete one. And it is a vector, and it is then incubated in with some bacteria, and the bacteria will take it up. Then you can grow it and harvest the human growth hormone. Right, what is... Right, let's have a look. No, we don't want to behave. So remember what we said a hormone was? It's a molecule or chemical released by the endocrine glands, and it travels also, it's in the blood, so it's released into the blood and it travels in blood to do what? To a specific or to target organ, and produces the desired effect, produces an effect. So there's a few things going on here. So right. So it's a chemical released in the, oh, second, make that bigger. Yes, we can. Endocrine glands. It travels in the blood and targets specific organs to produce an effect. So it doesn't target everything, although it's traveling. So if ADH will go to the collecting ducts in the nephron, which is in the kidney. So what's that? Tackling the brain. Right, let's have a look. Whoa, okay. Let's see if we can get another 5 minutes out of this. Right, okay. And then we can do the rest on another video. Right, the table lists effects of hormones. We need to name each hormone and where it comes from. So to convert glucose to glycogen, you need insulin, and it's in the pancreas. Stimulates male secondary sexual characteristics, deeper voice, more body hair, broader shoulders, aggression. It's testosterone, and it's produced in the testes. Increases the permeability of the collecting duct. Right, so ADH, and it's produced in the pituitary gland. So remember we said in the head you've got your pituitary gland, you've got your thyroid gland, you've got your adrenal gland, you've got your pancreas, you've got your ovaries, and you've got your testes. That's the, just keep repeating that, I'll go in. So that is your pituitary gland, that is your thyroid, those are your adrenal glands, that's your pancreas, these are your ovaries for women and testes for men. Okay, repairs, I can never remember this. Progesterone or estrogen. The source is the ovaries. Ovaries. So let me have a look at that. Estrogen. Estrogen. Right. Cells do not store glucose. Instead, it's converted into glycogen to be stored. Suggests why cells do not store glucose. Right. Because glucose is soluble in water, so would be lost by so it's soluble in water, so you'd have water moving out by osmosis, which is diffusion of water. So that's what would happen. So it's too valuable to lose glucoses. Okay. So you've eaten your meal here. Your body starts digesting it. Right, okay. Which represents the glycogen. So what happens is you've got, just say, starch. That's digested and absorbed as glucose. And when the glucose gets too much, it's turned into glycogen. So that's most likely to be the starch. It'll get digested and glucose will start getting produced. And when you've had enough glucose, it'll start turning into glycogen. So I think it's X. We can go check that. Yeah, that's what it is. So this is the thinking behind it. Yeah, so what you've done is you've started eating here. So that's, just say that's your starch. It takes a while and it starts breaking down. And a little while later you'll get glucose. And then your body starts using it, and when it becomes too much here, your body starts converting the extra glucose and storing it as glycogen. Right, okay, that's a long enough video. We'll do the next one in another video.